Mini Jake, the tribe has spoken.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Aw, fuck you too, sweetie.
I'm JJ, one of the original Tribe of Nerds members. You can catch me on Marvel, Pokemon, and other gaming podcasts.
What up? It's Josh, resident superhero nerd, but I also dabble in the occasional super villain as well.
Some may know me as the Chaos Gremlin, but really I'm just Joe King.
Pikachu, use Volt Tackle! Good job, Pikachu!
On the Tribe of Nerds.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Shane, Kristin, and I are here for DONDI episode 11, so we're right there, almost to the end, the penultimate episode, and I'm wondering what you guys think of what happened with the temple and this final excursion.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch told witch. The Black Widow witch. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'm so happy.
I mean, I feel like this episode is a little bit lackluster because I do like, in theory, like this finale concept of having a jury component and doing it a little different than last season. It still fell a little flat to me, but I'm very excited because I think I know who wins based on their little preview that showed some spoilers, I think. So
they are famous for that, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, when you, at the end of this episode, when you literally get it down to the final two, and then you show in your preview one of them standing in the temple and one of them sitting on the couch with all the other people, kind of shows who wins.
I mean, I feel
they're if they see, like, I don't know if they need to work on who's editing or what, but they do this. Like, we knew that Parvati was going to go in and lose here last week because we saw her in the preview for this episode. Like,
yeah, well, even more, this episode, she's in the temple. They're about to show whether her deal was a good deal or bad deal. And then they go to her confessional being like, I just lost against the banker.
Yeah. Shane and I commented because we're like, Parvati's thing is they put her exit interview before she actually lost.
It's just, NBC needs to work on that. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. And then on Instagram, they posted today, they're revealing who the banker is Friday afternoon. So, like, you've revealed the winner pretty much. You've revealed that this is the biggest prize in history, and now you're revealing the banker. So why is anyone going to watch?
Right. Why? Yeah.
I'm going to watch, of course, but like a lot of people might not.
Right.
Well, and that was kind of the case too, that a lot of people bring up, like, that's why you want like a Parvati. Like, a lot of people still aren't on the Australian, watching that of David and knowing him. So that's like why you want a Boston Rob or Parvati in the end, because you have all those fans of them that are going to tune in. Well, now Parvati's gone. So, like, what do you, like, if you're going to reveal the banker, like, that's the biggest secret. I mean, it's not a secret, but yeah, it's a secret. So they're going to reveal that secret and have nothing for the finale. So,
right.
So,
and yeah, I'm very curious to see the finale though, because they've hyped it up like crazy. Like, they're calling it like a cathartic experience. Like, what happens at the temple is unlike anything anyone's ever seen before. So I don't even know what it could be.
Yeah.
And like they already said, it's the highest prize ever won. And Joe had an interview on some show today I watched, and he said it includes like Jeopardy lifetime winnings, where there's someone on Jeopardy that's won like $5 million, and it's more than that. So this is a big one.
Well, we know that the ending case is like 12 million something.
Yeah. So I'm thinking either they get that case, or what likely happens is they're going to knock out all the low numbers. Like every low number will get knocked out, and they're going to have something where like the lowest number is like 3 million.
Yeah. For sure. It's gonna be crazy. I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited to watch it just on the Deal or No Deal standpoint of it all, like of opening the briefcases and things. We are all pretty confident on who the winner is at this point.
Yeah. They haven't hidden it since, like, I mean, basically the whole season. They've pretty much right. It's just funny. Yeah. Like, I'm all for it. I'm all for David taking this. Like, I've been rooting for him since the first episode.
Well, we all know how I feel about Letty, so.
Yeah.
Letty's ridiculous. Like, I don't know, because
careful, Shane. Her friends are out there. They're gonna get upset.
So she hasn't done anything like bad or like wrong. It's just certain people rub you the wrong way, and like those who rub me the wrong way are gonna rub other people correctly or whatever. But like, I don't know, there's just something from like literally episode 1. I'm like, what is this person doing?
Yep.
And like, because I just didn't like that she was like, oh, I'm a former WWE wrestler. I'm like, no, actually, no, you aren't, because I looked it up, and you did like a tryout camp and didn't even make it through that and dropped out. So I'm like, you're not really, like, she wasn't even in the development territory.
Yeah, Letty's screams to me, like, she screamed to me since the beginning, being finale loser. Like, I just did not see her winning the game.
Yeah, she just, I mean, like Shane said, she's just, again, all these things I say it every week is buy an edit, but like, I can just tell we would not get along. We are not compatible.
Yeah, I don't know. I was reflecting on this whole cast, and this whole cast to me is a little like, like, it was a great season, sure. I don't know how it stacks up with other reality shows right now. Like, it's clearly the best Dondi season, but I mean, we only have one to compare it to, so it's not saying much.
Well, and I always feel bad for season 1s, like even if Survivor, like you look back at Borneo now and it's like, oh, yikes, it's so bad.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? So I always feel bad for the season 1s of anything, because it's like they're like the blueprint. Like you don't have anything to compare. Like, you know what I mean? They're just kind of hopefully making this work. But obviously enough, they did enough to make it have a season 2. So
yeah. Well, season 1 of Survivor, I feel like people still rank that pretty highly. Yeah. But I think they're considering more of like the meta of it all. Where I feel like with that one, Borneo like really set the blueprint, and like Richard Hatch came out and like defined what the game is.
Right.
Dondi season 1, I do not feel like it did that. I feel like season 2 is going to be the one that did that.
Yeah, I agree. Like Borneo, I feel like, yes, there's things that do not hold up, but there's also things that hold up way more than what Dondi season 1 did. Like,
no, for sure. I mean, I'm not. They are not apples to apples. This is apples to oranges at this point. But what I was just trying to make the point of is like looking at Borneo, you're like, ooh, like what is this compared to like? I mean, granted, like some of us would like to get back to Borneo because we think Survivor should go back to that. But I mean, we're looking at like the standpoint of it all of like you would not even recognize the game.
Right.
So
yeah, because I feel like with Dondi season 1, like even some of the stuff that the players are trying to implement hasn't really stuck in season 2. Like good old Boston Rob, his whole shtick the whole time was like, I'm gonna try it. I should have this accent naturally, but I don't. So we're gonna try it. Hey, you need to play the banca every week. If you're in trouble, play. And this season, they're all like, oh, I don't want to play.
Oh my God. That was more Arnold Schwarzenegger
than Where's Amber?
Oh my God. That made this whole episode.
Hey, smarten up. Don't have crybaby-itis.
It's getting the best of me.
Oh my God. Arnold Schwarzenegger meets Boston Rob. Oh my God. Oh, well, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I think it's going to continue to build too. I mean, Dondi has turned into, like, people are watching it. Obviously, there are people that are still interested in this. I think they can only continue to grow. We have seen some things that have changed from season 1 to this season. Like, we have this new jury element of it all. I think that they could really fine tune that. I didn't really love that, which I know we're going to get into. But yeah, I mean, I think that they're still going to be able to make these like necessary like tweaks and continue to make it better. So
yeah. And I would think season 3, I mean, to me, there's one Survivor name that I feel like needs to be there, and I thought they were going to be on season 2. And if they put him on there, it's going to be crazy, and that is Tony Vlachos.
Oh my God, yes.
I feel like it's coming. He
running
has
around
to
that
do
island with his spy shacks.
Yeah, we need him there because I think that's a way better fit than putting him on Trader season 3. Like, he just wasn't going to fit.
Can you imagine him? Like, I feel like he would have a spy shack to spy on who the banker is.
Oh, he for sure
who the banker is. But
you could be like,
bad.
I saw the banker come out of their yacht.
Too bad there is no yacht, because that's definitely like stock footage. And the banker clearly is not coming in that island until probably like 10 minutes before.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And I don't know, like, I would just love to have had Tony on this season talking llama to Letty. Like,
please, like, I approve. So jumping into this episode, I mean, obviously, this is kind of, there's not really much to go on yet. I feel like there's a lot that happened, but not a lot of content, like Shane was saying earlier. Obviously, the temple David does, we got left on a cliffhanger, if you will. That David, he didn't know who he was going to pick, but he obviously picks Parvati, sending her into the temple to play the banker. And she makes a horrible, horrible deal. But Shane, you were bringing up something that I found very intriguing about some wordage that Joe is using. What you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So backing up a little bit, I'll say like David ultimately does what Parvati asks for, where she's like, okay, I want to play, probably listening to Boston Rob's strategy of if you think you're in trouble, play the banker. Because CK told her in the shower, like, I'm taking you out.
Yeah.
One thing I thought, though, like I noticed is when Parvati was playing the banker, I just felt like it was so, like, unserious. Like, everyone else gets up there and is, like, in it, and she was just like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'll just take this in that case and whatever, and, like, I won't take the deals. Like, I don't know. It just felt weird to me. Like, she didn't really feel comfortable there. Where like others, like even Dixon, like really like owned it. Like he owned his presence there, and she didn't, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But yes, so I will say, like, I do not believe these shows are like rigging or anything, but I do believe in manipulation, and especially in a game like this where literally like the banker's supposed to tempt you. I think they use it. I think in season 1, like, they used it pretty significantly. Like, we'll never know the motivations for sure, but it's legal if it's true. It's fine. But like when Dawson played the banker, it was obvious he was going to take out Boston Rob if he won, and then the banker gives him an offer of $100,000, but he has to leave the game. So I feel like that was something where they were like, okay, let's try to tempt him out, and that way it saves Rob. So it's like a win-win. In this scenario, they didn't do any tempting. But when it got down to it, where there were only a few cases left, and Joe was like, okay, so you have I think it was $100 or $1 million on the board. And then Parvati got the offer of like $500,000 and $1, which backs this $1 nonsense. But
so annoying.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring up, like, I feel like, to your point, like being unserious, Shane, like, Parvati, I feel like, just literally did this for the meme, like, of, oh, it's the $1 from the beginning of the season, Luke, but I'll just take it just to be funny, instead of, like, really looking at, like, the probability of having, like, the $1 million case. So it was really dumb.
Yeah. Because I feel like she looked at it and she's like, okay, there's 2 cases left, and I have an offer. So my offer is 50% odds. And if I decline the offer, I still have 50% odds. So she was just like, it's 50% either way. I'm just going to take the offer because that puts money on the board. Although I also feel like she's someone that would realize, like, it doesn't even matter if you put money on the board because you might not win that. It's only one case. And like, you might not even be playing the banker.
Right.
So that was interesting to me because I'm like, if you're going to the end, like, isn't the premise of the game that you have confidence in your case? Right. So it's like, just take your case at that point. And I think Joe is trying to sway that because he's like, you have 100 and you have the $1 million. And I mean, the $1 million screams at you, Parvati. Like, you won $1 million on Survivor. Like, take that $1 million case. He just kept harping on it. And it's interesting to me because they've said in interviews that like only one person knows what's like which value is in each case, and like Joe doesn't know, most of the producers don't know, but this seems a little like a coincidence here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
And like also, I don't know, because like you'd think, okay, are they in his ear with an earpiece? But I didn't see an earpiece unless it's just really hidden. So I don't know. Unless it's just a big coincidence, but it just seemed odd to me. And then sure enough, she had the $1 million in her case.
Yeah.
And if she only stuck to her original case, she would still be here. And my guess is Letty is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think she would have taken out Letty for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, looking at going forward now to the new dynamic of this jury moment here, I don't really know then where David would be at this point. I mean, obviously CK would still come in last, yes, CK would still come in last. And then it's going to be between Parv and David. I don't know with Parv there, like, are they going to be as helpful to Parv? Are they going to be as not helpful to David because Parv is there? Where, like, you know what I mean? So it's an interesting dynamic to see.
I think David's probably would still have more help because I think his social, like they're both really good socially, but the way he could get with people and make them feel so comfortable, and yet when they go out, they still like him, he did better than Parvati. Because I think Parvati and Dr. Will don't get along as well. So Dr. Will's not going to help Parvati the way he helped David.
Yeah, and we all know Letty would be pissed.
Yeah. Philip, I don't think he's going to be helping Parvati as much as he helped David.
No.
Or you never know, though.
Yeah.
Because then again, he didn't even help. Well, we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's jump into this. So we have this jury element here, that I think is something. I said this when we were watching it. Like, it's a love-hate with this right now. I feel like they could tweak this. I do like this enough that they could keep it in, but they are gonna have to tweak this because I really think that this now becomes a game of, like, granted, like Deal or No Deal is a game of chance in and of itself.
Yeah.
But now we're like, you're basically, if you're not liked, and granted that goes back, but they didn't let them know that this was even an option because season 1, this didn't happen. Like, I think if they would have said, like, if Joe would have said at the beginning of the season, even if he didn't say there's going to be a jury element, he maybe would have said, like, be careful how you treat people. You never know what might come around the corner, or something, like somewhat of a warning of, like, because CK says it perfectly. I didn't plan for this. Like, I played this cutthroat game and I'm here because of it, but now I'm going to have to pay for it. You know what I mean? And I think that that's a little unfair if you don't have that idea going in that you need to, like, kiss everybody's ass on the way out, you know?
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Like, I always say with these things, like, you should know the game you're playing. You should know as many of the rules so you can strategize around them. Because I think that's what's most exciting for me is seeing how people strategize around certain things. And, like, this, they just had no idea. The one hint Joe gave them at the very beginning was throw everything from season 1 out the window. This is a different game.
Yeah.
But, like, that does not give you enough information at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And for the most part, like, it wasn't much of a different game except this part.
Right. And that's the thing too, is like this is a huge thing because as we see, they're here to either help you or hurt you. And that could really that could really just, like, your game is over. Like, you can really get screwed here. And I think that that's kind of unfair. Yeah,
I think this twist had too much power. Like, I really like having it as a component that they know about that can, like, help or hurt you. But here it basically, like, makes or breaks your game. Like, CK was never winning. Like, automatically, given this and given how she played, she's third place, no matter what.
100%.
And even, like, for the winner, it all comes down to relationships. Like, literally, the jury is basically deciding who won this game.
Right. Which, I mean, fine. That's how Survivor is. It's how Big Brother is. But, like, this was not how Deal or No Deal was. And so, instead of basically them, you might as well just have them vote for a winner at this point.
Right.
Basically, instead of doing this whole excursion thing, you might as well just have them vote because it's essentially what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
I personally thought the same thing when we were watching, and I'm like, I preferred they either didn't have this at all or they just went all in and did have them vote for a winner and did the full jury instead of, like, the half measure, because, like, it just is a bit ridiculous to me, how they did it here. I also understand from the perspective of the game of Deal or No Deal, they still want to have that component to it, but I don't know. It didn't quite work for me. There's a couple aspects I enjoyed, couple interactions I enjoyed. Like I found it funny, Seychelles was, her not helping CK at all was pretty funny, based on that relationship. Or then I found it a little bit funny, even though like it's just a dick move of obviously Dr. Will just throwing David's last plank in the water. Like, I don't know. There were just some.
I love that David was so ready for that he like instantly jumps into
Right,
and had the attack in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah. I mean, again, I do like this. I feel like they could tweak this a little bit for future seasons. Maybe like instead of just eliminating somebody based on time, because like again, they could just literally just screw that person up, I feel like maybe they could, like, that's the tiebreaker, which we have kind of maybe thought this might come down to when at the finale here. But like maybe let everybody go for these cases, you know what I mean? Like the time is your tiebreaker. So have everybody like try and decide what they're gonna do with these cases, and then if it is a tie with the amounts, then it's whoever's the latest or something like that to immediately eliminate CK after she already was just like, granted, I'm not a fan of CK, we already know that, but like just trying to fight, like, you know what I mean? Like she doesn't even know if she's getting the right cases either. You know what I mean? So then what's the point of even putting her through this case or through this course,
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it just seems like a waste of time to like just eliminate just don't even let her go through the course. Like they're not letting her through. So
yeah, and also like what made them decide where to like start the jury, so to speak? Like was it just like, oh, we only have enough spots on this challenge for 6 people, so we'll start with Seychelles, and then all the other people weren't part of it?
Right.
Like that was a little random too.
It's really funny because like, I mean, I guess jury and Survivor used to start at Final 9, so I guess it felt like that a little bit, like old school Survivor will start at 9. This is where the jury started. So Luke, Sydney, which she left early, so she probably wouldn't have been there anyway. Rock, Storm, and MG, like those are pre-jury, I guess.
Well, Storm and MG are probably too busy over in their hotel room, so
Luke probably doesn't even know what's going on, and then Rock, I'm not sure knows what's going on either. So.
But yeah, the thing that's come out in their exit interviews today, when I listen to Parvati's, that I don't love this, especially if there's a jury feature, is that they got their phones as soon as they got voted out. So they actually knew who David was already. So when Dr. Will is saying like, oh, David, now are you going to tell me? Like he already knew. He Googled it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so Parvati said that on some of her interviews.
Which, and we know, like, jury is supposed to be sequestered so that they don't have like, anything. Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, did they just not think this through, or was this like a last minute addition? It's likely the former, that they didn't think it through, given how they haven't thought through these spoilers they've been dropping.
Right.
Like when they posted the Boston Rob after show with Seychelles the next day, even though it was a cliffhanger. So they spoiled that.
Right. Yeah, honestly, I think it's like one of those, I don't know. I'm trying to give NBC and DONDI the benefit of the doubt here that it's like some master plan. But yeah, no, there's definitely a lot that's not thought through here, for sure. Yeah. I mean, granted, I thoroughly enjoyed lots of moments. Like, Seychelles and CK were probably one of my favorite moments because she's like, you know what? I respect Game. I'm going to help you. And CK's like, oh my God, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. And then she's like, that plank could be like, I don't know, this, like, I have a bad back. I was like, we all know I don't like Seychelles either, but like, hilarious. That was just too funny. But also, I mean, here's the thing too, is like, we've talked about the case aspect of it all, which is going to come down to the winner. This is like, you're putting like enemies up there and expecting this to be a fair shot. Like, if you have somebody that's like completely hating like a CK, they're definitely not giving you a case. They're gonna say, like, Grant, CK is gonna like destroy her own game. Like, she just is not a trusting person. But I mean, we saw it with Dixon. Listen, Dixon, you and I have a bone to pick with one another because I can't believe you did that and let Letty have the bigger case. But it's okay. I've talked to Dixon. I understand the rationale behind it. However, like he could have gave her the middle case. Let's give David a little bit of an edge here. But no, I think it does go back to how well do you know these people? Like even David had mentioned when he got to Lachelle's, like I'm just like looking at her, I feel like she's telling me the truth, so I'm gonna go with it. Like I've spent enough time with these people. So I think it kind of comes down to the trust aspect versus the are they really trying to screw you? But I still don't like it. I still don't like it. Because I mean they could be like even Philip said, I'm gonna tell CK that this is the right case and she's not gonna take it. So it's I don't know. What are your thoughts?
That's why I think that Philip did give David the highest case because he did the exact same speech where he gave his logic up before CK. So I think he did it, and like he has this holier than thou attitude, as I'm sure you're aware of. So I feel like he would stick to that, and actually give David the high case, and David seemingly took that. I saw a lot of speculation online where people were like looking at the positioning of the cases, and the case that David picked at that station was also the one that Letty picked at that station, although it wasn't Philip, it was someone else there. Because what they did is they swapped the jury members, but they kept all the cases the same. So
I thought they were swapping the cases and the people.
No, because
I swear Joe said that.
Yeah, I thought
it's
too.
Because with the one that so Letty got like a 1.7, which was Lachelle's middle case, and David got 1.9, which was Lachelle's high case. Mm-hmm. And then they both got 1.8, which was someone's high case, I forget. And then the other one, Letty got 2 million being the high case, and now I think that's the station that David's at, and hopefully he's going to get the 2 million.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen it very clear, but it is a little discouraging to see that we know that Letty was like, Philip, give everybody the low case. Give everybody the low case. You got to help me. And we do know that Philip was in charge of that for one of those for David. I did not like if NBC wasn't so bad at like spoiling things that they probably shouldn't be spoiling, I'd be a little bit more concerned going into this finale. But Philip's face was a little, I was like, I don't know. Like he seemed a little too excited that David picked that case. And I think that if he was wanting Letty to win, he'd be a little bit like, oh my God, I can't believe he picked this case. Like, I think there would have been a little more shock on there. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing too, though. We know that he needs, what Joe say? He needs just 1.8.
1.8, yeah.
And we've seen that the lowest is 1.7. So 1.7, he ties it. And so that's why we're kind of like, is this a tiebreaker? And it comes down to time, which we already know that David beat her in.
Yeah. So
I feel like it wouldn't come down to time though, because they already used time. So I feel like they would have to use something else, but you never know. But I do think he has the highest case, because if we are to work, this is kind of a test for us now to see how good we are at the social stuff. Because Philip wanted to see, like, are they going to trust him? I'm reading this that Philip would think he's holier than thou, so he's going to keep his same shtick that he gave to CK and also do it to David and be whatever his speech was. Like, do you trust that I'm treating you better than you treated me in the game? Right. Which, like, David didn't even treat him badly. So
I know, I'm trying to, like, not go into my rants this episode, but
unless it's because he voted him out, but it's literally a game.
Yeah,
like, you can be mad about it. Like, I've been mad getting voted out, but, like, you signed up. You know the odds of you getting voted out are extremely high.
Right.
Yeah, I've been there too, but yeah, it is a game, and at the end of the day,
Shane's getting taken out by sunlight.
I know.
At the end of
I was watching you struggle through that moment.
Yeah,
you're gonna move past it, and if you're like us, unless you're like Philip, and you're gonna be better. So
I mean these but I think again too, this like proves my point of like so many weeks of like the Seychelles and the Philip hate. Like granted, I didn't get one with the CK and Letty because they were in the excursion, but like I think it proves my point time and time again of these tantrums. We're still throwing them. Like, we're literally still throwing tantrums on this final excursion. You're not even in the game.
Right.
So, I don't know. It is going to be interesting. I mean, they of course left us on a cliffhanger of like the last case, and we do hear like kind of like, oh my God, and like her, Letty over there like, like whatever she did. I don't know, but
yeah.
It seems to be a cliffhanger of some sorts of what we don't know, but we are very all confident on the fact that David is in the finale.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's just her pretending to be happy for him or something. Because based on what we've seen, if she wins this thing, she's not going to be like, oh my God. She's going to be like, come on. It's like we've heard someone yell before when they win challenges.
I see that.
Potential banker candidate. We will soon find out.
Oh boy.
Right now, on Friday.
Yeah.
Not even on Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm just like with Dondi's editing, NBC's editing, because I did it with Traders as well. I'm just like, what the heck is going on? I don't know. I just feel like I'm also watching so many things where I'm like, I would make such different editing choices if I was in this position. I felt this way a little bit with Australian Survivor this season as well, with a couple of things. But I mean, overall, they've still made some really good choices there. And NBC has just not made very many good choices with these two shows.
Well,
yeah, I wonder if it comes down to the fact that like NBC doesn't really have reality TV until pretty recently, so they just don't know how to like edit, and they don't have the proper team. Where with Survivor, like we can say what we want about US Survivor now, but their editing is top notch.
Oh,
like,
yes.
The physical editing, but also like the storytelling aspect of it, it's just you can't beat it. Right. And even the times when it's failed, like Gabler in season 43, you understand what they were going for. They were trying to make us surprised, and like I was shocked, and like I like those feelings of not knowing what's happening, but I also like knowing how it happens. So it's a catch-22 there. But yeah, but NBC, it's not good editing whatsoever, and I think it's taken a lot away from the show.
Yeah. What's funny about the Gabler thing is literally they left you in the dark of Gabler even being remotely close to a winner until literally the final episode where he's like, I'm going to donate all the money, and you're like, oh, he's winning.
Yeah.
They put that in there for a reason.
Yeah, up until that point, they literally had shown him.
You're like, who's Gabler?
They'd shown him being like the crazy guy that's going to like, put palm fronds on people when they're asleep, and then he's going to get his revenge on Ellie, and then he's going to be like, hey, I'm the Al Gabler, hide below the surface, and then I'm going to like put poison in the King's vial and run away, and I don't know. You just have...
we already know that. But we've seen it time and time again with Traders and with Dondi now.
The one thing they did with Gabler that I think is relevant to this edit is the classic thing of give the winner a lot of visibility in the premiere episode, which Gabler did have a lot of visibility. I mean, it wasn't necessarily like winner quality, but it was a lot of visibility. And if you look at Dondi episode 1, David had the most.
Yeah.
I would argue more than Parvati, which is shocking because all the trailers leading into the season were just the Parvati show.
Yeah, Parvati show, yeah, for sure. Well, it'll be interesting for sure. And I'm excited just to see how it ends because, I mean, listen, if we are correct and David wins this, like, I mean, we heard Joe say that the person turns down offer after offer. I mean, this could easily be because he knows he's about to go on Australian versus the world and have potential of winning there too. So, I mean,
yeah, but winning there is like nothing. It's
I know, but
500,000 Australian.
He's probably like,
he lives in America now.
Let me like just turn down these offers. I'm in a good, like you're saying, Shane, of like all these loan cases are gone. Like I'm in a good position. Let me keep because I know I have another chance, and I'm still gonna walk away with a good amount here.
Right. Like at that point, I kind of wonder what I would do. Like if let's pretend like the lowest case on the board is 3 million. I'm like. If I'm guaranteed 3 million is my minimum, like I'll keep going. I don't care. Like
100%.
What's the difference between 12 million and 3 million? Yes, a lot. But when you started with nothing, and like I don't have anywhere close to that, like 3 million's great with me.
Yeah. No, I always joke about that too with even like on Survivor because we know that like even first boot, they're getting like they're getting like what 12,000 now I think now because of the reunion being aired in Fiji. But I mean, sign me up for 3 days in Fiji for $12,000. Like that's more than I came up. Like, granted, yes, do I want to walk away with a win? Hell yeah. But like, I'll take 3 days in Fiji, and like, and this is also before too. Like, think about this: they got 3 days in Fiji, they get $12,000 and another trip because once the jury comes in, then they go send them somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
win-win.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, for sure, I'm right there with you on the keys.
Anything else before we close out Dondi in preparation for the finale? I mean, we kind of have already given our predictions, so I mean, anything else?
Woof woof. No, I'm just
Woof,
kidding.
woof. Yeah,
No.
I mean, I'll say that, finale of this next week, March 26th. So mark your calendars for that date now. Australian Survivor concludes in 3 weeks, so we'll have that done as well. And then we will also be doing Survivor 48. And we will have our US Survivor 1 through 50 rewatch. We will begin reviews of the older seasons to kind of celebrate Survivor 50. So stay tuned for that because that's going to be really fun and exciting to undertake that project. So, with that, we will see you all next time on the Tribe of Nerds.